Someone just texted me that Matthew Vaughn is going to direct Man of Steel 2.
Fuck off, what?
Welcome to Half Price Tuesdays. This is Dorsey.
And this is Vinny. Hi, I overstepped your introduction. I apologize.
That's okay. We're all good. We're feeling good today. We get to talk about Logan. We get to mispronounce our words.
Finally, yeah. I'm working on it.
Time.
We could finally start gushing about Logan instead of pretending anyone cares about Before I Fall or The Shack. It's going to be...
Nobody cares.
I know. I tried anyway. I needed a rant about...
I mean, I saw one out of the two, and I still didn't care.
So, why don't you go first about what you thought about Logan? Waiting longer than me to talk about it.
Have I been? I guess. Maybe. Well, in a nutshell, I loved Logan. I would say that it would be in the best comic book movies, but I'd say Logan would probably be in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something I at least have seen most of the relevant ones. I have a blind spot with those old Superman movies, like back in the 70s. I've seen the first one, but that's it.
Yeah, I haven't seen...
But I've seen all the major ones. And
See,
Logan
I don't know...
definitely great.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, when I think of that, the whole, like, best comic book movies ever, I think, like, are you counting graphic novels in general? Because if you are, that means you have to count Road to Perdition. And then I always got to be that guy and go, no, Road to Perdition's the best, and then everyone's got to be like, that doesn't count.
I'm counting, like, big two, like Marvel and DC.
No, I understand. That's me. That's where my brain goes, because technically that counts. But I know what you're saying.
Like,
especially when it comes
established characters, not like one-shot kind of series, like V for Vendetta or something like that.
No, I get what you mean. Logan, I think it's the closest we're going to get to a Dark Knight for this entire decade, just in terms of how culturally it's going to go, at least, because I already know plenty of people that have seen it and are talking about it, especially where I work, where I talk with a lot of different people that I work with and all the guests that I talk to.
Yeah.
It's come up a lot of different people, and it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah, I was just talking about it with a coworker earlier today, actually. But I think the movie that people are talking about the most still is probably Get Out.
But when you look at Logan, where the first 2 Wolverine movies had their problems, origins obviously, and the Wolverine, when I rewatched it, I liked it a lot less than I did the first time. But this, I know I could go see it again if I had the time, and definitely feel just as much as I did the first time.
Sure.
It finally let it be rated R. That girl comes in, and she's got claws in her feet, and he's looking at, like, I don't have claws in my feet. God damn it. It's like she only has two claws. Oh, wait, no, she's got 3.
I forgot
one's
about
in
her
her toe.
foot claws until they, like, whipped him out in the middle of the movie. Like, I forgot that was a thing. And, like, I knew it was a thing from, like, reading comics, but while I was watching, I wasn't thinking about the foot claws until she brings him out and starts stabbing X-24 in the back repeatedly over and over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. They didn't toe down the violence, like, at all. If they had done any more, it would started to be like a joke about the blood and just made it the bloodiest thing they could. But they let it stay more creative instead of just being straight up violent.
I think they did a good job of just really towing the line with it. Because like you said, any more would have just been silly excessive. But it was incredibly brutal.
Oh, yeah. They tell you immediately. He just shows up like, you probably shouldn't touch my car. And they're like, shut up. But he's like, my God. I haven't murdered anyone in like 10 years. All right. Beheading, slice off a leg, another beheading. Okay, movie. I mean, I can leave.
Pent-up rage, both in terms of the character arc and as far as the other movies have had to keep it PG-13. And so they've been holding back on realistically what a fight with the Wolverine would really look like.
Mm-hmm. And I did like, too, that he wasn't the only one doing all that. Yeah, you had the girl, too. They let it be like, no, anybody could hurt anyone. Because especially with the kids at the end, he's like, well, all my mutant friends are dead. Oh, wait a minute. This kid's also Magneto. Oh, wait, this one can move pine needles. Oh, my God, did that guy explode? Yeah, he exploded.
Yeah,
with a million pine
froze
needles.
This guy's arm off and exploded it. Wonderful.
And the main villain, who, granted, was just a guy with a southern accent and a metal arm.
Yeah, he was pointless. As far as, like, very, very much along the MCU brand of villain. He's just kind of there so they have something to fight against. He's not particularly deep or anything like that.
But, I mean, he was serviceable, but they kind of knew that it was also kind of showing, like, the idea of big bombastic villains were also kind of dead. Like, we're past that. People are just trying to live with their lives. Because there's the other villain, which is, the old scientist guy, and when he shows up and he's about to have his monologue, Logan's like, I've never used a gun before. Guy comes out, I genetically modified the corn to kill all the mutants. I just don't care. I just do not give a shit. I'm just going to shoot you all now.
Get out of here.
Which, that was like a Liam Neeson thing. I've seen him do that in, like, Liam Neeson movies where he finally gets to the villain. He's like, I just wanted to... Like, I really don't care. I want to go home. So it was... I did like that. There was a...
Like John Wick-esque.
Yeah. I mean...
Like in the first one, like Theon Greyjoy doesn't get to do his monologue or whatever he's planning to do. He just, boom, gone.
Which...
I'm tired of it.
That whole thing when he shows him he's just helping him move the thing with the horse in it, and as soon as I see who the dad is, I'm like, oh, that's that guy from ER. Oh, wait, this guy's going to be a character. Oh, yeah, I live in this farmhouse. I'm like, Origins, he went to a farmhouse. It didn't end very well. Yeah, see, this is what happens when Wolverine goes to a farmhouse with a family. The family ends up dead, like really dead. And the kid's like, here, kid gives him the iPod, and he's like, you can have it back in the morning. Okay. Just kidding. As soon as he said that, I'm like, oh, you're going to die. Okay. Like, you're not getting your iPod back. I don't know why you still have one. Oh, yeah, Charles, I had a feeling that was going to happen because, I mean, one, he came out and said before the movie even came out, I'm done making these. So I'm like, okay, he's probably dead. When he gets stabbed for a minute, I'm like, is this like a mercy killing? He just decides, like, I'm like, wait, no, he's still out in the oh, it's the physical manifestation of dealing with Wolverine's past, and if he can fight it off, and it's okay. Just do a quick movie.
It's a little heavy-handed, but, I mean, at least it bothers to be about something other than the action scenes, which isn't something you could say for the last installment, X-Men Apocalypse, which I recently rewatched on HBO, and it was just as bad as the first time.
See, I didn't think it was a bad film. A lot of it was just felt insignificant. Like, they didn't do anything with the 80s. Like, Quicksilver has a Pac-Man machine in his room, and I'm like, you can buy those.
Yeah, there was Jubilee's outfit, and that's about it.
Yeah, for like a second. And I was like, oh, it's Jubilee.
It was so much more about just setting up for the next X-Men movie in that timeline.
Yeah.
Paying off any of the dozen character arcs that they started and decided to go nowhere with.
And Jean Grey becomes Phoenix, and then she's in the plane 10 seconds later, like, what's up, guys? I'm like, no, you should be, like, half dead.
That's not how it works now. They
became
do whatever.
Phoenix.
They don't care about the timeline. They aren't bothering to make the characters, like, act logically.
I mean, I don't know. I don't read the comics. I don't know if you did, but from me personally, I was
more into DC, like, comic-wise, which, makes their current situation more tragic. And I guess we can talk about the state of the modern blockbuster later, but, yikes.
Oh.
As far as DC.
DC, I don't know if they would allow a film like Logan. I don't know what Warner Brothers would do.
It feels like the kind of thing Zack Snyder wishes he could make.
Oh, he would never, no.
He's just not that good at what he does.
Honestly, watching Batman Superman gave me more respect for Watchmen. Because you watch Watchmen, and there's a lot of similar themes. And he wants to do this thing about superheroes aren't that perfect, and they're tragic, and they, really shouldn't be analyzed as perfect, and you should really see what they're about. I haven't seen that movie since I saw it in the theater, and I had someone tell me to at least, two different...
the point of Watchmen, too.
No, it's a film. It's hard to like.
He's bad, and he's always been bad, and he's never gonna be anything but bad. And I'm sorry, but
I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just.
Maybe his next one, maybe Justice League will be the best movie ever made, but I highly doubt it.
Well, you know what the problem is, though? The thing is, Batman Superman isn't getting the best reviews, but you know what it still did? It still made all the dollars. It made so much money that they don't care. They're like, oh no, crap reviews.
Well, underperformed next to expectations.
It technically did.
I mean, it still made a lot of money, because there's absolutely no way that it couldn't make a lot of money, but people were talking Batman vs. Superman like top 5 of the year last year, and it didn't get anywhere close.
Oh, money-wise?
Yeah, like, as far as, like, revenue.
Right.
I mean, it dropped like a rock after its massive opening weekend, I'll give it that. And dropped like a rock afterwards. And obviously, money's not an indicator of
quality. Oh,
quality
Christ,
necessarily,
no.
but
I understand that. I just meant, like, they're gonna...
It could have made more if it was better, or even just, like, passable. It wasn't like they hit the ceiling on how much, like, a Batman vs. Superman movie was gonna make.
Well, let me put 2 points together. Going back to Logan...
But, back to Logan.
If Logan had been a Warner Brothers film, like, forgetting DC, Marvel, whatever... But in the early 2000s, if X-Men hadn't gone to Fox, it had gone to Warner Brothers for whatever reason. Like, they gave up on Batman entirely and switched over. Logan would have been a movie that was PG-13. Then when the Blu-ray comes out, there's the R-rated 2.5-hour cut, because they're afraid to put that in theaters, because they gotta make
3 hour, because Batman vs. Superman was 2.5 hours.
Yeah, Logan was about 2.5 hours now, yeah. Okay, so 3 hours. I'm just saying, like, they would have... Yeah. That's because that's what they do now. Put the safe version in theaters, less blood. I think even the Wolverine movie, like the director's cut of that, they try to add more blood, and that's what they would have done. It would have been this epic thing. Might have been a better movie, but it's like, okay, I've already given up on it. I'm not gonna watch your 3-hour version of Logan, and that's what they want to do now. Put this in theaters so it makes the most money with PG-13, then put the real movie out on Blu-ray to make you buy 2 different films.
If I didn't like the regular, like, standard version, I'm not gonna buy the longer one. Like, the last thing Batman vs. Superman needed was an extra half hour.
Right.
And Logan, if it had been any longer, it probably would have been a problem.
Oh, no, yeah. Logan ended when it needed to. It told everything very well. I mean, for a movie that's over almost 2.5 hours, I think it's like 2:20. It definitely kept moving at a really good pace. It definitely felt like you were okay with the ending. The only problem this is what happened to me personally, because we saw it at like 7 p.m. showing on Thursday. That final shot, like, you see the spoilers, Logan dies, you see the cross, and I'm like, I wonder if a wind's gonna knock that over to make an X. And then when I saw the girl run back, like, oh, she's gonna do it, isn't she? And she just tilts it over, and it makes the X. And I went, if I knew they weren't gonna make any more X-Men movies ever again, this would be perfect. But I still, for the first time in any Marvel, DC, whatever movie, I didn't start crying, but I felt something welling up for the first time in any of these movies. And I wasn't expecting that, because...
I don't know if I can look back far enough to remember, but yeah, definitely got the feels running there. But
there were these dickhole kids in front of us, and when the camera was zooming in on it, these kids are like pumping their hands up like they're waiting for him to punch through the rocks. And I'm like, no, this isn't Batman Superman where, oh, Superman's dead. No, he's not. Like, you're wasting our time. Like, he's not dead. And that's what they were expecting. And I love that the film didn't shy away from it. It was like a last second thing. It just said straight up, no, it's over. Credits. Dead.
Yeah, it's done. No post-credit scene. Go home.
Yeah, that was the best part. There was no post-credits. It was straight up.
We got that awful, like, Deadpool.
Oh, yeah, they put that in the beginning, which was the best thing they could have done.
I mean, if it would have been after that.
Although Hugh Jackman said, I'm done with Wolverine. Unless Marvel buys it, I might do one more. If Disney got X-Men back.
Yeah, like, he would do it to, like, bounce off Tony Stark, but if it's just X-Men, like, he's tired of it.
Oh yeah, if we got that's the thing that they would spoil at like Comic-Con. Like, we got this new trailer, and as soon as you get Tony Stark walking in a room, Hugh Jackman's just standing there, and then they burn down the convention center that they're in, just set it on fire. But at that point, Hugh Jackman's getting older, and I know he's gonna look all buffed out when he's 87, but whatever nursing home he's put in, he's gonna put in a gym.
Well, I mean, he's tired of doing that, like, that thing that you have to do for shirtless scenes where you, like, drink like 10 gallons of water one day and don't drink anything the next day.
Right.
Does his shirtless scene so
dehydrated,
look all, like, veiny and feral and shit.
No, he'd rather do. Honestly, I want to see him act again. It's like he's had his time. Like, do some non-action stuff for a bit. Like,
he's going to be in a musical later this year. What is it called? I'm going to look it up. It's in post right now.
Okay.
The Greatest Showman. It also has Zac Efron, Rebecca Ferguson, and Michelle Williams and some other people. It's about the founder of the Ringling Brothers Circus.
Wow, that's they must have had that.
It's a musical.
Huh.
It's coming out.
We're getting a circus December. Musical with Hugh Jackman. I didn't know that. That's the first I'm hearing of it. And that thing must have been in production before Ringling Brothers went out. But I would love a P.T. Barnum movie. I know it's for Ringling Brothers, but you got to do a P.T. Barnum. I want to see Paul Giamatti sing about his sideshow act. Oh my God, I really want to see this movie. Like, I don't know if he's even in it, but I'm getting.
I mean, it is about him.
Yeah.
Like P.T. Barnum.
Oh, he is P.T. Barnum?
Hugh Jackman is
that doesn't make
him.
any freaking sense. Oh my God, I'm disappointed. No, it doesn't make P.T. Barnum was a little potato-shaped dude who was a good showman, and he shouldn't. Oh, I'm watching it.
Now
oh
he's
yeah.
Hot.
Well,
deal with it.
Because anything Hugh Jackman's in, I mean, where he's actually acting, because I loved Prisoners. He was one of the better parts of Les Miserables. I wasn't in love with that movie, but he's one of the better parts in it. So definitely seeing him go, okay.
Yeah, I didn't love it either. And I'm usually all about musicals, but
So Logan, I think you gave 4.5 out of 5. I only gave 4. So I think you did like.
That's roughly equivalent. I mean, I liked it a lot. The hype might go down after like a second viewing or something, but I really liked it. And there's a lot of blockbusters on the slate this year that are likely to be garbage, to put it politely. So
well, what's coming out that you're just anticipating to be straight garbage?
Should I go down the list? Let's see. Sadly, like super incredibly sadly, all these ones starring women. Ghost in the Shell is going to be bad. Wonder Woman's going to be bad. And
I mean, Ghost in the Shell, so looks like, even though it's probably going to be a train wreck, it looks like it's going to be an interesting train wreck. Like, it definitely seems.
It's not one that I'm going to pay to see. Like,
make me see that by myself. I guess fine. I'll go.
No.
I'll go. I mean, I liked Ghost in the Shell when I watched it. I haven't cared about the other movies. I haven't seen I know there's like Ghost in the Shell 2. There's a 2.0. What's the new movie, which I think is like a remake. Then there's Standalone Complex, which I got like 5 episodes in, and I just didn't care, and I stopped watching. I'm not the biggest fan of the series, but the movie looks like it's going to be a gorgeous train wreck. But the Wonder Woman movie, I actually think it's going to be fine.
It's the last hope for me.
I mean, I'm not like dying.
I can't even begin to explain my love for the Wonder Woman character. I had to skip a portion of the crap in the 60s where she becomes like a fashion boutique owner or whatever.
Okay.
But I'm a couple months behind. But I've read every Wonder Woman comic from like the 80s forward. So Wonder Woman is my shit. This movie's going to be bad because I don't think that Warner Brothers knows how to do this whole franchise. It's probably the one with the most hope out of all of them, but the whole
trailer
enterprise. The trailers look good, but so did the Suicide Squad trailers, and so did the first Batman vs Superman trailer. So
no, Suicide Squad never looked good. At least to me, Suicide Squad never looked promising. It did look pretty hot topic, but the Queen trailer was at least like edited together in a fun way, so it looked like it could at least be fun to watch, but it wasn't even fun. It was just sad. The guy who wrote Wonder Woman, it's directed by the woman who did Monster. This is his first movie. He's written for Sex and the City, Gilmore Girls, and the OC, and Grey's Anatomy, and Scandal. Yeah,
I liked the first 2 seasons of Scandal. I'll admit that.
Maybe
the first 2 seasons.
Oh, he also wrote. And he also wrote Young Avengers 1 through 12. Okay, so he randomly suddenly did comics after. Okay, whatever. That's the most random resume there.
And they got Jeff Johns to supervise.
I'll
the
give you
script,
Ghost in the
he
Shell,
can't
but I
write
honestly,
Wonder Woman for shit either.
well, maybe I don't know. He could be.
She's weird in his like Justice League comics. Like he's not good at Wonder Woman. I don't like him. At least for this character.
Okay.
Like, it has a better chance than Justice League does of being good.
Yeah. Oh, Christ,
but I'm gonna expect
definitely
the absolute bare minimum and probably not be too disappointed when it can't even make that.
What did you, was that what you were saying earlier about blockbusters in general lately, or upcoming ones?
I guess I'm thinking about where we're going with like the blockbuster situation, I guess. The Marvel people have no sign of stopping. Star Wars is pumping something out every year, regardless of whether or not it's necessary. I mean, Disney in general, they've transitioned almost into a exclusively tentpole blockbuster strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're not even bothering with a lot of smaller movies anymore. It's just all tentpoles, and they'll put out less total product than every other studio.
Make the most money.
But they'll make a lot more money. Which is, it's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that Disney can do, because they have the properties to make it happen. But Paramount, like, in talks to, like, transition over to the Disney strategy, but they don't have the intellectual property to effectively do that. They have Mission Impossible and Star Trek and Transformers.
Right. Well, Transformers makes money everywhere, so
that's true.
That's just a money.
But it's not Marvel and Disney animated, which doesn't have to be. They're going to make money regardless of what they put out. And live-action remakes of all their 90s movies one by one.
Yeah, except Aladdin, because anybody that tries to be Robin Williams, people will crap on it so hard, and they know that. And the only reason the Blu-ray finally came out is because he... What? Well, I know they are, but it's I don't know how they're going to...
And they made this unnecessary announcement that... Hopefully, because I live for that kind of petty bullshit, they're just announcing, oh, by the way, Mulan is going to be all Asians, and Aladdin's going to be all Middle Eastern actors. I know this is the bare minimum, but we're going to announce it, but I'm just hoping that they're being petty and attacking Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, well... I'm looking up the Aladdin thing now, because I heard, it's happening, but I honestly stopped looking into it, because I'm like, no one will do it. Apparently Guy Ritchie's already making it.
Oh, yeah, they have.
So I didn't even know Guy Ritchie was attached. And
it's probably happening. I don't know if they've gotten that far with Mulan, which was my favorite animated Disney movie, by the way.
Aladdin's my favorite, because that was like the first one I saw in a theater, so I have the
first movie I saw in theaters was Hunchback.
Oh, wow.
Which was probably, I was like 4 or something, I don't remember. But yeah.
Hunchback
is one of my favorites.
Hunchback would have been 96. So
yeah, I would have been 4, depending on when it came out in the year.
Aladdin didn't even get like a re-release, like a 3D re-release, like Lion King did, and that was disappointing. And then they didn't even do the Blu-ray until Robin Williams died, and then it suddenly gets shoved out. Like, oh, okay, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. I really liked Aladdin, but I'm gonna see Beauty and the Beast, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just so funny to me that... Well, we're switching over to the exclusively tentpole strategy, but we don't really have enough content. Let's just remake one of our old movies per year till we run out, in which case we'll just start on Frozen.
Are we gonna get Aladdin? Not Aladdin. Are we gonna get Robin Hood? You think they'll actually do like CGI Fox people? That
would be awkward for me because I had a weird enough time watching The Jungle Book. I don't know. Probably not. They're probably going for their like top tier hits, which, as much as Robin Hood was good, it's not a musical, and so they can't sell the album.
Yeah, well, they can just sell the Hamster Dance song over and over.
Well, yeah, but like for the Beauty and the Beast, they got the like Ariana Grande, John Legend cover that's like on the radio already. You know, they can't. It's not the same.
I haven't heard that actually.
Add like one original song so that you're in contention for like the Oscar next year. But I was on YouTube earlier and like
Yeah.
I saw some of the songs from the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack, like the new one, like they got Emma Watson on the thumbnail or whatever. I didn't click on them because I'm gonna watch the movie in a couple days. But yeah, the advertising blitz has been nuts for this movie. It's gonna be huge, whether it's good or not. I don't know.
The marketing that I like the most for this movie is all the fake news reports about everyone being mad about Josh Gad's character being gay. Because I don't think anyone actually gives a shit, but Disney's like, no, act like people are mad. Because I don't think anyone actually cares, because it's LeFou. It doesn't matter.
We already knew LeFou was gay. We all watched the original movie.
I just assumed he was just a goofy, sexless idiot, and that he was just the sidekick.
I assume everyone's gay, sorry. There's a gay character in every Disney movie.
Oh, I thought you meant in real life.
You just have to look hard enough.
Finding Dory.
I mean, they had that, lesbo couple who had, did they have, a kid that got, her water bottle stolen? I don't know. I'm probably never going to watch Finding Dory again. But LeFou, definitely. Oh, yeah. Maybe even Cogsworth. Who knows?
Cogsworth was just stuffy and British, although the actor that played him was completely American.
You mean repressed?
No.
I'm just being a brat now.
You could say he's repressed. Then you could make the same argument that Lumiere was trying to be overly heterosexual to cover it up. You can make the argument either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps flirting with
for anyone. So don't try to fight me on this. LeFou's always been gay.
So you feel that? Do you generally feel this year's coming out pretty well so far? We're in the middle of. We're about the end of the first quarter of the year.
So far, what I have seen has been good, for the most part, before I fall was stupid. There's a lot of big blockbuster movies that I'm not sure are going to be good or not, and some that just, aren't for me, so I'm not going to bother with. I know The Fate of the Furious is going to make a buttload of money, but, these movies are not made for me, and I'm not going to pretend.
The Furious movies, I didn't watch them. I saw the first one and then gave up until my friend demanded I watch the fifth one, and so we could go see the sixth one that day, so I marathoned 5 and 6 in the same day, and I'm like,
I feel like I've seen pieces of all of them, but I've never seen one all the way through.
The first one's fun for what it is, just
but
early.
The trailer for the new one, it just seems like a parody of itself, like the Saturday Night Live version of the new Fast and Furious movie.
No, honestly, 6 did that a lot. There's a part in 6 where the main heroes have to walk into this warehouse and what about my team? And it's literally because they have The Rock on their side, so then they have this white muscle-bound dude on the other side. And they're like a white version of Ludacris and somehow, and wait a minute, does anyone else notice this is stupid? And a character actually is does anyone else seeing this? Shut up. And then they fight, and okay, this is just the Avengers, but with human beings. I'm okay with this. This is just kind of silly. And the films don't take themselves, the first one took itself seriously, but then they stopped. They're no one's here to take this seriously. And yeah, but I understand not wanting to see it.
I guess another cluster of I don't want to sound like the elitist. It's nothing's good anymore, but the blockbusters are, they have higher and higher budgets, which means they need to appeal to the broadest audience possible, which means they have to play it very safe, which is something that I guess Logan highlighted because it didn't do that, where every other previous X-Men movie had done certain things, keep it PG-13 to keep the wide appeal.
And Logan's making money with an R rating, so maybe that trend's going to hopefully...
It's on track to beat the Origins Wolverine movie probably by the end of the week. It's already outpaced the previous Wolverine solo movie.
Right.
But if you just scroll down the list of blockbusters, even for the next couple years, all the major announced ones, it's just very, very obvious. If these kinds of movies are going to be studio's main focus from here on, Paramount can try to do what Disney is doing, but they just don't have the means to do it, so they can go under if that's what they really want to do. Lionsgate has been kept afloat for a long time with more low-key kind of franchises. They got
the
Hunger Games. They're going to see if this Power Rangers thing's work out for him.
I'm totally up for seeing the Power Rangers movie, even though it looks like it's going to be a beautiful train wreck, and I'm looking forward to still having fun with it, and then knowing at the end of the day, not that good, but I'm smiling, so I'm okay. I don't need this to be anything crazy.
The trailers
Just
have so
fun.
many jokes in them that aren't funny.
Oh, guys, I'm black. No, you're not.
Which
No,
makes me
look,
really,
I'm black.
hesitant to go see the movie.
Oh, I have one friend who
Not that
sees
life is
like
going to
2
be
movies.
that much better, but, I'm going.
He
And
sees
that's just
2
how it
movies a
is.
year, and he wants to see Power Rangers. So, in that point, definitely, I know I'm going to go see it because of that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I know what we're eventually going to get is a point where majority of new releases are going to wind up on Netflix or some other streaming service that's run by a major studio that when they try to kill Netflix. And the only reason you go to a theater, because it's the only movie playing, is a Disney movie, Marvel movie, Star Wars movie, or something else like Transformers or
Otherwise, big budget type of
tentpole
stuff.
movies, and everything else, like even something like Get Out or Split, even something like that would be streaming only, and you wouldn't have a theater that would play it.
I can't
they just
imagine
wouldn't
not
bother.
being able to see a horror movie in the theaters. Sound is such an important part of building the necessary ambiance for a horror movie.
I understand. No,
So,
I
if
agree.
they stopped playing, Blumhouse is not going to stop putting their movies in theaters because they make them on such small budgets. They're usually bad, but you'll get a couple hits. I think recently they've been turning the ship around, so fingers crossed. They still make mad money for compared to what they put into it.
Well, I don't mean in the next couple years. Netflix is trying. I know eventually we're going to live long enough to see the day where going to the theater is not viable for the majority of movies. It's going to get too expensive for not just people going to it, but to distribute it and to run a major theater. They're going to have smaller screens, like theaters with less screens. Let me say that better. And you're just there to go see the new Star Wars or whatever, or the next Avengers movie, and everything else is at home. You'll still have your local pizza beer theater trying to preserve the theater going experience, but that's the future that I'm pretty sure is coming, that they're going to try to.
I hope not. I like the theater going experience.
Oh, I do too, and I will go till I die. It doesn't matter what they change it, but I just see it becoming a thing where have this streaming service. Oh, here's a brand new movie out. You get to pay $15 to watch this at home on the day it comes out, on top of this $15, $10 premium on top of everything else that you're already paying for. That's just where I see it going. And it's a good thing because it would allow smaller filmmakers to get their stuff out there a little bit easier in digital distribution. But sacrificing the theater-going experience for something like Get Out, which, I got to see The Babadook in a theater. It was playing in one theater in Ohio, and I got to go to the one theater it was playing in Ohio for 1 week was a half hour from me, and I flew there because I knew it wasn't going to be around that long. And I'm glad I got to see that in the theater because a lot of the people I know that love it said, "Oh, I saw that on Netflix. It was great. I wish I saw that in the theater." Like I did. I get to gloat.
Yeah, I was very lucky that the independent theater here decided to bring in the Babadook for a couple days. They usually don't have anything really for more than a couple days.
You got to see it in the theater?
The Babadook, yes.
Well, let me ask this because we know what the big tentpole movies are, and I was talking about this earlier with you for a minute that I love that. Before I realized Split went down to 70%, because that thing was in the upper 90s on Rotten Tomatoes for weeks. I didn't know that went down, but I love that Split's making money and was getting very high reviews. Get Out's going to be one of the best movies, reviewed movies of the year, making a lot of money. Two movies that are
undeniably even all the whole Oscar pack from last year didn't make 99%. Rotten Tomatoes isn't necessarily it's the percentage of likelihood that you will like the movie, not that it's A++++. But
I understand that. I just meant it's just an easy way for me to just get what I'm saying out of everyone likes it. But
pretty unanimous, everyone liked it.
Two movies that are not franchises or remakes or reboots or sequels. Two trailers came out over the weekend that are not franchises or sequels or reboots. They are original, awesome-looking movies, and I asked earlier if you'd seen the trailers, and you said you already did.
Original action movies.
One
Something
is
we could definitely use more of.
Atomic Blonde.
Yes.
What did you
All
think
about
after
it.
seeing that? Yes.
I have always loved Charlize Theron, and
same director as John Wick.
I mean, and it sounds like if you just watch the trailer without knowing that, because they didn't put that in the trailer, like they didn't advertise it as
which is
from
dumb.
the people behind John Wick. It looks like someone went into an executive office and like called up the John Wick people and were like, "Yo, how about John Wick, but Charlize Theron though?"
Imperator Furiosa
like
put a wig on.
Yeah.
I would love at the end of that movie, she shaves her head, and then there's an atomic bomb that goes off, and she loses an arm.
The one concern I have about that movie, though, like I'm all about like badass lady action heroes with not totally straight tendencies, but the way the trailer focused so much on lesbian like kissing or whatever seemed really, I don't know, I'd have to watch it to know for sure, but it seemed more like for male titillation rather than this is a lesbian action hero. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, the trailer has to show that. I mean, for all we know, when she says, "Did you meet our French operative?" For all we know, the end of that scene is the French operative trying to kill her, and then Charlize Theron shoots her in the face and goes, "Oh yeah, met off with a bang." And then there's just a dead body, and it's like, oh, okay, that was a villain. It could
just be like literally just like a Bond girl type of situation, and then she's evil for whatever reason. I mean, as long as it's filmed in a way that's not...
It's respectful.
Creepy.
Yeah.
I would love to see an actual lesbian action hero.
Well, I think it's implying
like
that...
a honeypot kind of thing.
It's implying that she's bi.
Yeah, that would be
because
perfect.
There's the part, because there's a part earlier where, "Do you know this guy?" And she gives that look of, "Oh, we've met before. He's dead." "Oh," and she gives that look of, "That was my ex," or something. Like that's where they're going with it. So it seems she's at least bi.
I would like to see more like legitimately bi characters and not like, haha, teehee, I kissed a girl and I liked it. You know what I mean?
No, it's probably... I mean, if she's gonna do like a female James Bond thing where they're still Bond girls and she just happens to be lesbian, and
I mean, there could be Bond guys too. I'll take it.
It feels like it could be
I just hope it's
crazy.
respectful and not just like... I mean, it's really dated to have the male titillation, like, female kiss scene. You know?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not here for that. So...
I'm giving it
handle it properly.
I'm giving it more of a chance because...
And I'm excited for the movie. I'm definitely going to watch it, but...
Charlize Theron doesn't jump into, like, junk projects usually.
That's true.
You know, she's good
at picking her projects most of the time.
Not everything she's done has been amazing, but she doesn't show up on straight-to-DVD movies and then suddenly be in something amazing, and she just keeps acting for the money. It's the guy from John Wick directing it. I'm looking up real quick to see who wrote it. It comes out, based on it's based off a graphic novel. I had no idea. I didn't know this is based off of, it's technically a comic book movie. Well, what did I just say about it being an original story? And I just ruined my own thing.
Ha! You know what?
Darn it.
If it's like what graphic novel is it? Is it like a indie type of deal?
It said,
City.
Because the two writers of it have writing credits. It says, based on the Oni Press graphic novel written and illustrated by these two people. So, I don't know anything about... I don't know if Oni Press
is basically... It's an indie publisher, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, they're based in Portland. That tells you about all you need to know.
Okay. You have more of your expertise is more with comics than mine is, so. What else did he write? He adapted the screenplay for 300. Huh. 300 had some blatant, like, this woman's naked because guys are watching this movie, so. Huh.
Was that?
Okay,
I feel like that's less of like the screenplay.
It's more fun when you look that up.
I mean, it's the way that it's filmed. Like, you can film a naked woman in a not skeezy way.
Well, 300 was made to be... Actually, 300...
But Zack Snyder chose not to because that's what he does.
That is Zack Snyder. I forgot that was him. 300 is, like, supposed to be a movie where it's an extreme male culture, and the extreme testosterone culture is what kills them in the end because they won't allow the Hunchback to fight with them because they're too proud and too manly. You could
But at the
definitely
same
put a
time,
twist
they're
on that.
portrayed as very, like, cool badasses the whole time. So he's undermining his message that I'm not even sure he's intentionally trying to do because he spends so much time on stylized violence and, like, CGI abs.
This guy is also directing the next Deadpool. He's already working on the next Deadpool while this is coming out. So. Okay. And the one that I've been excited for about a year, and all I had heard of it, Baby Driver. Baby Driver, I was looking forward to forever.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like, okay, Ant-Man isn't going my way, I quit, even though it feels like an Edgar Wright movie. Ant-Man is an Edgar Wright heist movie with Paul Rudd, and it happens to be a superhero movie too, because that movie's kind of amazing. What did you feel about?
Pretty good. Here's how I feel about Baby Driver. I hate Ansel Elgort, and I won't watch it because I hate him. And
You're
I feel
not the
betrayed.
first one to say that.
Because he's the actual worst person. That's not like Hitler tier. He's like.
Did he do it? It's funny you say.
He's never personally victimized me. I mean, intentionally. But I have had to listen to him talk, and that's not all that different.
It's funny that you said that because I'm looking at his profile now on IMDb, and the first thing in his trivia says his grandfather was a Russian Jewish immigrant, so you saying he's not Hitler. It's like, well, yeah.
I mean, he's obviously not. He's not bringing about the end of civilization or actively trying to do any of that.
Oh, he's in Divergent.
Awful.
Okay.
He's really awful. If you ever listen to him talk, ugh.
I haven't seen anything else he's done.
Do you not just irrationally hate anyone?
Oh,
yeah. Is that not a thing that you do?
I hate. I guess I hate Melissa Leo, and I'm not sure why. Well, actually, I know why, but I'm not going to get into that. But no, yeah, I didn't see the Carrie remake. I didn't see Divergent or The Fault in Our Stars or Paper Towns. He's apparently in. I don't know. But no, I put the trailer up on my Facebook,
Paper Towns,
and a couple people liked it, and one guy's like, "Everything in this looks great. It's Edgar Wright. I've been waiting for Edgar Wright for years." Yeah, I hate Ansel Elgort.
He's
like,
so.
I'm gonna watch on Netflix just because he's in it. So that's.
He has a DJ alter ego that he calls DJ Onsolo. Because Han Solo, his original DJ name, sounded too stupid, according to him.
He was born in '94, so he's
just some dumb kid with a poreless face.
Oh, his birthday's today. That's funny. It just became midnight over here, so it's his birthday over here now. He was born March 14th. That's funny.
That's great.
I'm sorry that you don't like him, and it's going to hurt you wanting to see the movie because I think it looks really fun.
If everyone comes out and says it's really, really, really good, I will watch it when it's in the second run theater. But
I don't have that.
Or if I have like a free
anymore.
ticket, because I don't want to support Ansel Elgort or anything that he does.
I mean, I have faith that, so even in the trailer, nothing. His accent seems weird. Like trying to hear him talk. Is that how he sounds, or is that just his characters kind of sound that way? Is that actually how he talks?
Sounds like he sounds like a confused child.
His name is Baby and his girlfriend's name is Darling, and James, these names are funny. It looks like he wants to do another heist movie, it's like, this is what Ant-Man could have been, and I don't have to worry about any rules. I can just do what I want, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but they are putting it out in August. It was supposed to come out in May, and I got pushed back to August from what I remember.
Bad.
So,
well, it might be a bad sign. Lately, there's been like one movie a year that comes out in the beginning of August and rides like the August dump month train of being like the only worthwhile thing. Like Suicide Squad would have not made that money if they had put it out in May.
No, it's kind of like the end of August. Like kids are going back to school in a couple weeks.
The end of August and basically all of September is where people dump blockbusters that weren't good enough for the summertime and
Guardians of the Galaxy
awards
was
bait
August.
that's not good enough for the wintertime. Like, poor, sad September. Sometimes you'll get a decent horror movie, because they can release them any damn time.
Prisoners came out in September a couple years ago. And I love the heck out of Prisoners.
Or movies that the studio doesn't know how to market. Like that.
Yes. No, yeah, that's usually what September is. August, though, I can look forward to. That's the thing, that's another thing I was saying with this year so far, though. It's been like, we had something amazing in January, and then Get Out in February, and Logan starts off March, and
like, even like
Kong.
The Blockbuster season has expanded from March to August, skip September and October, and then November and December are Blockbuster months again.
Yeah, it used to be
a lot. It's a lot.
Even 10 years ago, it was like Memorial Day weekend is when we start, and then Avengers is like, well, we want May 2nd. And then it started in May 2nd, and it just keeps getting shoved
and they've
further.
Had the first weekend of May, like, on lock for
and that's fine. I mean, that's an okay way to kick it off, because
they got Guardians this year. Next year they got Infinity War that same weekend. The next Avengers in 2019. They have a slot booked for May 1st, 2020, but not an announcement on what it's actually going to be.
Well, originally Infinity War was going to be...
just in case.
They put Infinity War back into one film. They were going to split it. And I think after Insert...
Instead of Part 1 and Part 2, it's just going to be Infinity War and something else.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Infinity War really doesn't need to be 2 movies. I know they have a lot of characters to juggle.
Yeah.
But you could probably read the entire original, like, comic miniseries in an hour. So
it's like one of the few arcs I know a little bit about, and I'm like, I actually kind of read it almost entirely. So
it doesn't need to be 2 movies. I know they have a lot of characters to juggle, but there's no reason for that.
Well, if they had the X-Men available to them and Fantastic Four available to them,
yeah, I mean that cuts.
It'd be worse.
Out, but they also aren't gonna just ignore the characters that aren't important in the actual storyline. Like, Black Widow's going to be in it, even if she's irrelevant.
Right. Yeah, she'll suddenly want to have another relationship with another Avenger out of nowhere.
I don't want to even talk about. I love the Marvel movies, but there's plenty wrong with them, especially when it comes to women characters. So we'll see if... I mean, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, like, Gamora didn't even have a spoken line. Not one.
Yeah, her character, I get a feel they're going to be able to do more with her.
They better.
They have to. You know what's funny? Because she was in... Did you watch the Warcraft movie last year?
No, I love myself.
Okay, fine. She's in that, and her character in that movie is more developed and has more of an importance than in Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though Gamora is fine,
I didn't even know she was in it.
She can be better. Yeah, she's actually every other character.
She was in it.
Oh yeah, she's like the main woman in the movie. She's half orc, and I'm not going to start talking about the Warcraft movie and pretend I know what I'm talking about. I saw it because but no, her character actually gets a little bit more development in that. But I'm going to rewatch Guardians in the next month or so before the sequel.
Oh, for sure.
But what I was saying real quick was this year so far is looking promising that, at least for me, 4 movies have come out that I've already given 4 stars to. And even Kong, which I was going to talk about, but I know we're kind of past it, but that's fine. Even Kong is good movie. It's not perfect. Even Kong was...
And it's setting up
actually
another
a fun
cinematic
movie.
universe. Yay!
Okay. I'll live with it because it's probably not going to be as crazy. And if this turns into... Well, I mean, we had a Godzilla movie, and if we didn't get a King Kong one, if they're doing a sequel, they're going to bring in another monster, and he's going to fight it. Then they're going to bring in another monster, like the Godzilla movies were in the 60s and the 70s. So if they were going to... I assume they were going to do that. The movie itself is pretty awesome. I've only seen, like, a couple movies that have just been straight bad. And this is the time of year where they should all be bad. And even real quick, looking at what comes out on Friday, not just Beauty and the Beast, but we're getting the Belko Experiment, which is Battle Royale in an office building.
The trailers look interesting. I'll probably go see it.
Yeah.
It looks like the main character is like the president from Scandal, who is the reason I stopped watching the show.
I think we'll do a thing where you see it and you'll have to tell me, because one of the trailers actually uses the music from the beginning of Battle Royale. Like, they know what they're doing, and I kind of just think I'm going to get mad. And really? I don't want to see it. Doesn't look interesting. I mean, the idea is interesting. I just know they're going to screw it up and make me upset, so I'm avoiding it. But kind of like how you're avoiding Baby Driver for reasons. So
I understand their stupid reasons. But,
I'm not trying to say you have proper reasoning. That's fine.
Proper reasoning. I hate this kid because he's a stupid kid.
That's valid.
I mean, it's written by James Gunn while we're talking about like Guardians of the Galaxy.
It is. I've seen Battle Royale 2 where they do the same thing. Obviously, Belko Experiment's not about sending kids to pretend they're an army, and then when one neck explodes, another neck explodes, because when you want a strong army, you kill them twice as fast. I hate that movie.
Duh.
I hate that movie so much. But, so, any other idea where they try to steal the whole, we implanted an explosive in your head without telling you somehow, or we put a necklace on you that will explode if you don't listen to us. It's usually when I see other things like that, I don't get the appeal of it. But meanwhile, the original Battle Royale is one of my top 10 favorite movies ever. So it's weird how that concept works in one exact case. What I am probably going to go see, though, I'll go see Beauty and the Beast, because I know someone will want to see it.
The tagline on the poster for the Belko Experiment says Office Space meets Battle Royale.
What would have been funny if the tagline had said, "Could you kill your coworker?" Because the tagline for the story in Japan originally was, "Could you kill your best friend?" So that would have been like, oh, it's actually a reference to the original marketing. Okay. Because the original Battle Royale, the point of it was, you kids think you're perfect and you're living in this world with all this technology and you have nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, 2 generations ago, we had to worry about bombs getting dropped on our head. You guys are repugnant little shit, so we're going to blow you up. That's what the original story is. So there better be a really good reason for why these employees are being messed with. Like, they almost done something horrible, but I don't know if that's what they're going to do, because that's probably like a spoiler at the end of the movie, so they won't just market it that way. Yeah. I guess I'll just go see Beauty and the Beast. And then you can go see Belko Experiment and tell me I'm an idiot and I should go see it, then I'll go see it. And that's fine. But yeah, mainly this week is Beauty and the Beast. You'll go see Belko Experiment.
I don't know if I'll see it like before the weekend is out, but probably at some point. It's not showing up on my list, just Googling like movies in my town, but it's supposed to be a wide release, so I'm assuming that I'm getting it.
Oh, we're getting the re-release of La La Land that has the words on the screen so you can sing along.
What? I didn't know that was a thing. They usually only do that for Disney movies. Like, they did that for Moana.
Yeah. It's the La La Land sing-along. I am not seeing that, but that's kind of amazing. I mean, I guess it would help with the opening scene so you could actually understand what they're saying. But, well, I think this was pretty good. For what? This is episode 5.
Yes.
So, okay. This is Vinny saying have a good week at the movies.
This is Dorsey saying good luck at the movies.
All right, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Goodbye.